All right, in this video, we're going to do warm-up number 12, which is just 2 questions today. So a restaurant manager begins each shift with the same amount of money. He keeps $300 in the safe, and he distributes the rest evenly to 4 cashiers. So the reason why I highlighted begins each shift, the same amount of money, and distributes the rest evenly is because those are some key features of this function that we're talking about. And it's asking, what does the y represent in this situation? And remember, the y is our dependent variable. So it's dependent on whatever this x value is. And this x value stands for the same amount of money that he begins with at the beginning of each shift. So looking at my answer choices, I have option A, the total amount of money the manager has at the beginning of the shift. Well, this is talking about the beginning, so I'll leave that one alone. B is saying the total amount of money the manager has at the end of the shift. Well, we're not talking about the end of the shift, so we can go ahead and cross out B. The total amount each cashier has at the beginning of the shift. So we're talking about each cashier, and we're talking about the beginning of the shift, which is the same thing the word problem talks about. So option C is a possible answer. And D is the total amount each cashier has at the end of the shift. Again, we have that end of the shift wording, and we're not talking about the end of the shift, so we can cross it out. Now you're down to a 50-50 chance. All right, I like 50-50 instead of a 25% chance. So now let's look at what it's saying. So option A says the total amount of money the manager has at the beginning of the shift. So the amount of money the manager has is the same amount of money is that x value. So this is what the x represents. It's not what the y represents. So we can cross out option A. That leaves us with C, the total amount of money each cashier has at the beginning of the shift. And that's what Y is. Y is dependent upon how much money the manager has at the beginning of the shift. So this would be your output. So that's your answer. Question 2, what is the 0 of the function graphed below? And remember, 0 is always talking about your x-intercept. That's when your y is equal to 0. So in this case, it's that point 2, 0. That's when this function, this line, is crossing the x-axis. So that is your 0. Remember that this 0, 3, that's actually your y-intercept. That's your initial value. That is not considered your 0 or your x-intercept. All right, that's it for warm-up number 12. Make sure you take pictures of all 4 pages and turn it in for this week's bell work.